What if I tell you our body actually remembers everything we've been through? The anxiety, the stress, the emotions we don't have time to process, and all of these have been stored in one part of our body that most people do not talk about. And for millions of women, especially those who have had babies, this part of our body has been quietly holding the pain, the dysfunction, and even trauma. Today's conversation is going to challenge a lot of what we have been told about women's body, about recovery, and what it means to heal. And today I'm joined by a very talented physical therapist specialized in pelvic floor, Dr. Kate Zhang, who has recently moved to Seattle to start her own practice. But more importantly, she has worked with so many women at their most vulnerable moments, and what she sees every day goes far beyond muscles and recovery. It actually tells us about how our bodies carried our life experience. So today, we're really going to deep dive into the truth behind postpartum recovery, woman's body, and everything we never really talked about. So buckle up, here we go. Hi friends, I'm Erica. Welcome to Off Script. And sitting next to me is our great guest, Dr. Kate Zhang.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kate. I am a pelvic floor specialist.
Great. I'm super excited. Like in my last episode, I was interviewing a 10-year-old, and just within a week, in my next episode, we're talking about some PG-13 topic. This is like a huge jump.
Yeah, actually, I saw that video. No, I saw that podcast. It was really fun.
Yeah. So Kate, I've known you forever. And I also know that you've been a physical therapist, but it's not until this year that I know you are actually specialized in pelvic floor. Yeah, I was really surprised, to be honest. Why pelvic floor?
Pelvic floor is such a unique muscle. There are not a lot of muscles in our pelvic floor, but once you have a little bit disorder or dysfunction, that can actually affect a lot in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And even just a small fix, like some tension, you fix that tension, or some weakness, you strengthen the muscle, that can actually improve one's quality of life a lot.
Yeah. And for someone like me, like with very, very little medical knowledge about that, could you tell us about like what do you mean exactly by the tension and the pelvic floor, how it affect our life?
So pelvic floor, it's muscle.
Yeah.
Muscle, they can get tight, they can get weak. Sometimes it can be both. So for people who have both tension and weakness, when they sneeze, they might pee on their pants, right?
Yeah.
Or they need to run to the bathroom like 8 to
Yeah.
10 times a day, or they have to wake up 8 to 10 times a night to run to the bathroom and they cannot hold their pee. And also pelvic floor muscles, they are attaching to our tailbone, to our, pelvic bone. So that can affect our hip function. That can affect our low back. That can affect our bowel movement. Some people, they might experience like constipation, chronic constipation. And when we dig into the problem, we figure out, oh, it's actually the puborectalis muscle that is very tight. When we fix that muscle, we fix the constipation.
Yeah. It's totally relatable to me. And I'm just wondering, how long have you been in pelvic floor physical therapy?
About 7 years.
7 years? What surprised you the most when you firstly started treating patients?
When I just started, I clearly remember that I had a patient that she couldn't have pain-free sex. She couldn't have sex because of the pain. And she always thought, it's her fault. And she actually got divorced. Like her husband cheated on her because she couldn't have sex. And then finally, she came to see me. It took me only like 4 months to treat her. And I still remember that day she was able to use the larger size of the dilator with no pain in my office, and she cried so hard. Like she complained, like, why there's no doctor told her about it before. Like, it probably will save her marriage. Like, I mean, she didn't marry the right guy, but I'm still surprised that even in the medical fields, not a lot of doctors, they know about pelvic floor function, pelvic floor therapy.
Yeah. Well, that was the story was very happy. Yeah. And I'm just surprised like how many women waited too long to seek help from professionals.
True.
Yeah.
And also there's like a little bit misconception. Like people would think pelvic floor is women's issue. But men they have pelvic floor issue too. We all have pelvic floor muscles.
Okay.
It's only because female have more layers of pelvic floor. We are supporting more organs. We have uterus, we have ovaries. So we tend to have more problems. But it happened to everyone. I had a patient, male patient. He's a very successful entrepreneur with a lot of stress, and he couldn't pee. He couldn't empty the bladder, as he has to take a shower to urinate.
Indeed is a serious problem.
He had to take like 5 to 7 times shower every day to urinate.
Just to pee.
Yeah. So with my treatment, finally we get to the state that he's able to sit on the toilet to urinate, but he still couldn't stand and urinate. Yeah.
Wow. It's amazing like how this small muscle, little muscle is affecting our lives. And I'm particularly interested when you say that it's closely related to the tension we have. It's like the mental stress that actually affect our physical health. How does that work?
Pelvic floor muscles are very emotional. We tend to store a lot of emotional memories into our pelvic floor. So let's say a person who had a traumatic delivery, where she didn't have a very good experience during her pregnancy. So those kind of traumatic memories we tend to store in our pelvic floor muscles. And sometimes we think, okay, mentally we already got rid of the trauma. We already moved on, but the body keeps the score. Wow. Actually, there's a book about it. So our body not help us, but they tend to help us remember all the past experience, good and bad, and especially for pelvic floor, they remember the sad stories a lot.
That's shocking. That's really shocking. So we think that we have processed this emotion. This thing has already passed, but our body actually remembers.
That's right.
Wow.
And think about it, it's actually a good thing too, because our body tend to protect us.
Yes.
Before we even know it. So we encounter like a traumatic deliveries. The pelvic floor would think, okay, it's time to fight. We have to contract. We have to protect this person. So after the delivery, you think you're all better, but the pelvic floor muscle, they didn't know. They still thought you were in danger. So let's constantly contract, ready to fight. And after a while, like months later, the muscle, they don't remember how to relax. So they stay in that fight or flight mode all the time. And after a while, they become so tight that they couldn't flex their muscle anymore. Then they become a weak muscle.
Okay. And that's when physical therapy should come in?
That's right.
Okay. Gotcha. What are some like the early signals that you think people tend to ignore, to remind them that, hey, I'm your pelvic floor muscle. There's actually a problem you haven't solved yet.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So a lot of time we tend to normalize some symptoms. People would think, oh, you had a baby, so you have some prolapse. You're feeling some heaviness close to your lower abdominal area, or you have low back pain. Who doesn't have low back pain?
Yeah.
People would think, okay, that's normal.
Yeah.
Everyone carries some pain.
Yeah.
But that's actually all related to it could be related to the pelvic floor, and you should have a pelvic floor therapist to examine your body.
Yeah. But what resonates me strongly is that the word you use, normal, especially like a postpartum, like when women experience certain discomfort in their body after giving birth to a baby, a lot of discomfort are framed as normal. Yeah. Could you talk to us more about like what normal symptoms are actually not normal?
Well, I wouldn't say normal. I would say it's common. It's common that you feel like instability. It's common that you're experiencing some urinary incontinence, low back pain, tailbone pain, hip pain, or you feel like weak. Those are very common symptoms, but none of them, they're normal. Like you shouldn't be feeling that you're limited from doing your functional activity lives. Like if you want to lift up your baby, you shouldn't have the concern that, oh, would that make my prolapse worse? Or you wanna sneeze, you wanna run a marathon afterwards. You shouldn't worry about if you're gonna pee on your pants.
Yeah. I really hope that more women can understand this. No discomfort or pain is validated.
That's totally great. But with the social media nowadays, like I think more and more people, they're bringing the vagina, the lower ab, the postpartum healing into the spotlight, which is a really good part. But the only thing that I don't like is like more and more intimate wellness industry, they tend to step in and they try to marketing, we have this products, we have this procedure that can make your vagina looks better, that can make you like slimmer after pregnancy. The thing is, it's never like a cosmetic issue. It's a health issue.
Yeah.
When people tend to put more attention into how they look, like for example, the access recti, which is the separation of the abdominal muscle.
Yeah.
People really care about the separation, like I'm 3 fingers width and 2 fingers width. It doesn't look nice. It's never a cosmetic issue.
Yeah.
It's a
What
health,
is it?
because separation of the abdominal muscles, they tend to put you at a risk of developing hernia. You're losing stability of the spine. So that means in the future, when you're lifting your child, when you picking up your groceries, you may hurt yourself. You may hurt your back. You may hurt your hip. Not right away. It could be like in 10 years, in 20 years.
Yeah.
And you might develop hernia, which is a serious medical condition. But people tend to minimize the health care part of it, and people tend to think more about it doesn't look nice.
Yeah,
it's
a wrong focus.
Look pretty, right?
It's a wrong focus.
And more product, they're focusing on advertising, like I'll make your vagina look good, tighter, like prettier, like it will smell good. But it's never the point. The point is, can you function well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But what are like the risks or problems if we're going to the wrong direction?
Well, first of all, a lot of time, vagina itself, it's actually, you're healthy. You don't need to change a thing. But a lot of like marketing or like social media that keep saying, oh, it has to look prettier, it has to be tighter, it has to be smell good, and you put more product, it's actually affecting the pH level of the vagina. It might cause you more like infection. Yeah.
Speaking of social media, I actually have a very big topic that I want to deep dive into. It's about a bounce back. Women bounce back after delivery. I remember like in year, what is it, like 2013? I mean, I think it's the first time that Princess Catherine gave her first royal baby. And it was only like a few hours of her delivery. She showed up in public and looking absolutely stunning. And it was a huge thing on social media. People keep talking about, is this what women are supposed to look like after giving birth to a baby just within the same day? And especially in Chinese social media, because it's against like so many Chinese like traditional postpartum theories. Like women should put on layers. Women should not like show up their head and face and should not be standing in heels. At that time, I thought there was no right or wrong. But right now, I think it's over a decade now. And fit moms and hot moms are all over the social media. Right, it's kind of giving women a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Like for many women like this, just walk out of the hospital looking like pre-pregnant woman. And a lot of work mom, like even at my workplace, a lot of work mom, they rush back to workplace right after giving birth to babies. What are your perspectives on that?
It took us 9 to 10 months to change from like before pregnant to a pregnant full term. Our body was experiencing a lot in 9 to 10 months. It's gonna take another 9 to 10 months to return to where we were. We probably would never return to where we were, but it's like biologically, it's gonna take a long time. It's not just like a month or even 2 months later, like you should go back to normal. No,
it's not scientific.
Our hormonal change gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Our brain, our neural system gonna change a while. A lot of people, even like a year after delivery, their brain still think that they're pregnant. They still breathe. They're standing in a pregnant posture because the brain didn't know the baby's out. You will see them, they're still like, protruding their lower abdominal area. They're expanding their rib cage because the body didn't know the baby's out.
It's very relieving for moms, especially new moms, to hear that your body actually takes longer than you thought to adjust this change in role.
Actually, let's take a further step of this. I really like this topic. Some people, they are advocating like going back to work right away after delivery, and they can manage the kids, they can manage the work. They're
so
like
cool.
a super mom.
Yeah.
let's think about it. Who get benefits from it? Not the mom, the family, the dad, maybe the company too. The company definitely wants you to go back as soon as possible and just work perfectly normal.
Yeah.
Like you never had a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Supermom is like a trap.
true.
Yeah.
And female, they're competing with each other. Oh, I can actually give 3 children in
While
2
managing my
years.
successful career at the same time.
Exactly.
Wow.
But like, who's gonna get a benefits from it? It's never us.
So what is a scientific reasonable timeline for women to, to really recover from childbirth?
Right. So that's a good question. That's $1 million question. From my perspective, it's just my opinion. There's no timeline. Everyone is
as long as you want.
Everyone is so different. Some people, they need to go outside to walk, to exercise. They need to go back to work. Some people, they need more time mentally or physically to rest, to stay close with their baby. Everyone is so different. Everyone's pregnancy journey is different. Everyone's delivery journey is different. Like a vaginal delivery compared to a C-section, an emergency section compared to a prepared C-section. Everyone is so different.
I bet a lot of moms come to you for pelvic floor problems.
True.
Yeah. What are like the most common problems or damages you have been seeing?
I would say lack of sleep.
Oh,
That's both
that's
totally. Well, think about it. It's very important we recover during our sleep. We don't have enough sleep. We tend to have a lot of stress. And a lot of most of the mom, they're breastfeeding too.
Yeah.
So their body under a lot of stress, they don't have time to heal their pelvic floor. It's common to see some pelvic floor weakness right after delivery. So a lot of people complaining like urinary leakage, or like when they sneeze, they pee on their pants, or when they laugh, or they like bending over, picking their child. They don't feel really safe. That's totally normal.
Yeah.
So you give it to about like 3 months or so, but after 3 months, if you're still experiencing these problems, probably you should see a healthcare provider.
Wow. Yeah. That's surprising. Like the things like leakage or something, it's actually the reason behind is you're not having enough sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also for prolapse, a lot of people, they are very concerned about the prolapse. They feel like, oh, something's protruding out of their vagina, and they tend to hold a lot of tension. But think about it. It's, if you're always holding a lot of tension, I already explained that to you. The muscles, if it's tight, it becomes very weak, right? So they don't have enough strength to support internal organs.
Yeah.
But if you constantly think about your baby, you are fighting with your husband, you're not happy with your life, your whole body is sending a signal to the brain that I'm in danger. Please fight for me. So everyone gonna contract. You're gonna hold a lot of tension. So it's not just pelvic floor. We see a lot in postpartum female that they're experiencing neck pain, right? They're experiencing shoulder tightness, neck pain. They couldn't breathe well. They're feeling like, they're holding a lot of tension on their chest, on their rib cage. Yeah, it's all about the stress.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your whole body is like working all together as one mechanism, protecting yourself.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way to think about it. You're not in the fighting mode. Another way to look at it is that you're in a protecting mode, protecting yourself against all those emotional damage.
That's what I keep telling my patient. Don't blame on yourself. Like why you're so tight? Because your body want to protect you, right? So the solution is you need to find a way to relax yourself.
I want to sit on this topic a little further. So you said like your patients coming to you feel like sad about themselves for having these symptoms. Well, they are actually the patients, but somehow they feel like shame or sad. Why is that?
Blame on themselves, or they feel like, I think sometimes it's the social media, because like when they see a perfect mom online holding their baby, they was like, why I'm having so much fat, why I couldn't have a pain-free sex, why I'm having this prolapse. And people keep emphasizing how bad it could be when you have a prolapse, when you have a urinary leakage. What I want to say is, it's not normal. It's pretty common. Like most of the women, they will experience some degree of pelvic floor disorder. I would say 3 in 4 patients. That's not from my imaginary. It's actually from an article that I read.
Yeah. Like 75%.
3 in 4 women, they will experience some pelvic floor muscle disorder in their life.
That's a lot.
And it's treatable.
Yeah.
It's like people have neck pain, people have headache.
Yeah.
Who never had a headache before, right? But it's just the muscle being tight or being dysfunctional for temporarily.
What is one thing, if you could change one thing about social narratives about women's health, women's body, what would that be?
I think our pelvic floor issue or abdominal diastasis recti, postpartum pregnancy, those kind of issue, not cosmetic. Don't compare yourself to other people. It's all about you. Can you live a better quality of life?
Yeah.
Do you want to run with no concern? Do you want to lifting heavy weights, your baby, your grocery bag, your laundry bag with no concern without hurting your back? So those are more important than thinking about, oh, am I a better mom or am I a better wife or model?
That makes so much sense, especially that most of us, we don't even work in entertainment industry. We're putting like so much unnecessary weight on how we look.
Right, because we like to compare.
Exactly.
Right, but everyone is so different. Don't compare yourself to other people.
Yeah. When is the time you know that you should go to a professional for help?
You should do that even before your delivery. Like during pregnancy, a lot of people think, okay, I'll fix my pelvic floor after the baby's out.
Yeah.
But there's so much things that we can do during pregnancy. We can protect you. We can actually guide you how to protect yourself. When the baby's like very big, like you're compensating by using the wrong muscle. There's so much things that we can do during pregnancy. And I think not right after, I would say like a month or 6 weeks after after a vaginal delivery or C-section, you should start seeing a therapist just to get an evaluation and see things that we can help you.
Besides that, what are some of the other simple healthy habits that a woman can build in their life to prevent such problem happening?
Exercise.
So
muscles are like, if you don't use them, you're gonna lose them. And when we talk about exercise, it's like from a pelvic floor therapy's perspective. I'm not talking about like 6-packs. I'm not talking about a nice like bicep curls.
Yeah, still about the look.
I'm talking about stability.
Yeah.
So we have power muscle. We also have stabilizer muscle. Those are different muscles. So when we talk about 6-packs give us power. It's also very important. But underneath that 6-packs is our transversus abdominal muscle. Those are the stabilizers. Yeah. We don't see them, but they protect us. And pelvic floor, diaphragm, our breathing is so important. Like if you breathe in the right way, that can save us a lot of doctor visits.
What do you mean by breathe the right way?
So normally we should breathe, this is our diaphragm, right?
Yeah.
So when we breathe in, our diaphragm should descending. And when we breathe out, the diaphragm should come up.
Okay.
So that's in theory.
Yeah.
A lot of time you will see a lot of like chest breather. Yeah. They don't use their abdominal muscle. They don't use their diaphragm. The diaphragm doesn't really descend completely. So they're not breathing efficiently. They're breathing using the neck.
Yeah, especially panic attacks.
Right. Yeah. So I'm glad that you bring this up because these muscles, they are not primary breathing muscle. They're accessory breathing muscle. That means when we see a tiger, when we're in that fight or flight mode, we tend to use these muscles to breathe. Like, we're sending a signal to the brain that, okay, there's a tiger in front of us. Everyone gonna tighten up. Let's ready to fight. But in your daily life, do you see tiger all the time? No. But you're still choosing this way to breathe. You're telling your brain that there's a tiger in front of me. So this breathing pattern actually gonna make your anxiety even worse. And that can actually, it's a vicious cycle.
Okay. Is that a conscious thing or unconscious? Just a habit?
Most patients that I see, it's just a habit.
Okay.
And it's very hard to change it because you've been breathing that way for like the past 10, 20 years, right? So it's going to take, a lot of efforts. You're going to put thought into it, how I'm breathing. You need to observe yourself all the time.
Yeah. Like see how deep you're breathing. Is it coming all the way down here?
Right. Okay. And it's not just the abdominal. It's 360 degrees. It's the front, the back, the rib cage, the sides. Everything start moving together. If you have a very tight low back, when you breathe, all the pressure gonna come to the front. Then that's gonna make some people, you will see the lower belly pooch. Yeah. It's not the fat. It's how your body manages the pressure because the back is so tight. The pressure goes to the front. The pressure can press on your bladder. Some people experience urinary frequency. Okay. Right? Yeah. So because some pressure constantly pressing on your bladder, so the bladder is not happy.
Let me bring up my last question to you. So we have talked a lot about like social narrative, the social media impact to women's life. What would the one thing you think women should keep constantly reminding themselves to stay healthy?
I think just stop looking outward and rather bringing all the attention into your own body. You're gonna look inward. You have to really understand your body and respect your body. Pace yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't even compare yourself to the old you, the one that before pregnancy. Like you're a totally different person now. You're a mother. So but you have to follow your own pace. Look into yourself rather than look outward.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much, Kate.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you all. Wow, that was a lot. And with all the things Kate shared with us, my biggest takeaway is that maybe it's time for us to stop trying so hard to be everything. Stop comparing yourself to the supermodel on social media. Stop being the supermom who has it all together. Because the truth is, our body is not just something we perform with, it's something we should listen to. And honestly, it's been speaking to you this whole time. So for this week's homework, I want to invite you to do something very simple. Before you go to bed, put away your phone, screen off, and just take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is my body trying to tell me? No judgment, no fix, no pressure to optimize anything, just listen. Because awareness is where everything starts. And if this episode resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I would love to hear what your body is telling you. Thank you all. This is Off Script. I'm Erica. I'll see you next time.